Hey there. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. What is your name and what do you do?
My name's Eric Swanson, and I am the tour manager for Slightly Stupid.
And you used to be the tour manager for,
Soja.
and when did that switch take place?
Um, I would say probably 2019. I've been with Slightly Stupid for about 10 years. In about three of those years, I also did Soja for about 2016 through 2018, 19.
Okay, cool. And you're in the studio right now. What's happening next week?
Yes, I'm in the studio out here in San Diego, California, the Slightly Stupid Lab. We're preparing for Closer to the Sun next week in Mexico, Cancun, Mexico. The boys are rehearsing. We're setting up the live room, getting the grills ready, getting the vibes alive.
Amazing. And what year is this for you going to Closer to the Sun?
This is eight or nine. I think I did them all but the first one.
Okay. So you're
So
you're a seasoned veteran. This is nothing
yeah,
for you.
it's pretty well oiled at this point. Cloud Nine's a great partner out there, and hopefully we'll go down and just have some good times.
I think a lot of people, so slightly I mean, Closer to the Sun is very much like it's like a cult festival, right? A lot of the same people every single year. Some of these people, it's like the only festival they go to. So what would you describe like? I feel like it's different than other festivals, but I've never been. How is the vibe at Closer to the Sun? What's the people like? What are they expecting? Like, what's the energy like?
That's a really special question because it's sort of been a grassroots campaign for the band. When they started off, it was just a shot in the dark to see if a destination concert would work, and it sold out in a few seconds. And it was a small group of people at the Now Sapphire down in Mexico, and then it grew, and we moved to a bigger resort at the Hard Rock. So over the years, we've added as many rooms as we can, and it sells out really fast. But it is a badge of honor. In fact, there's a ceremony every year for people that have attended every year, and it really is a festival for the fans. All the bands hang out and go to do poolside bingo, and there's music from noon until 2 a.m. every single day. It's just a vibe. You get to eat with the artists, kind of hang out, and have a really family affair. There's a lot of costumes, outfits, theme nights. It's a special event. It's often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's been a lot of attempts for destination festivals, not just within this small scene, but kind of, as a whole, regardless of the genre. And
Well,
sometimes
getting
they work,
getting
a lot of
getting
times they don't.
yeah, getting not to look at it like a market-based situation, but there's only so many, Chicago, Chicago, Los Angeles, Los Angeles. There's several rooms to play.
Yep.
But to increase the opportunity for people to see the band in new settings, it does become a challenge. And I think it's important to understand what the fans really want. And I think Slightly Stupid has always been really good about listening to that voice
Yeah.
and really trying to do exactly what it is their fans appreciate and not something other.
They've always been known as kind of a fan-facing, extremely accessible band because that's kind of, they started in backyards, they were young, whatever, they were already, I think it kind of happened organically in that sense. But they, even though they have gotten so big, they're still accessible. They're still kind of, there's this parasociality with Slightly Stupid fans and the band themselves. Like they feel like they like know them on a personal level. They're fans, and or like they're actually friends, And I think that that's a really interesting dynamic that not a lot of bands have once they get so big. I think that plays into kind of the cult following as well. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I think that the band's being open to the fans and communication and physically there. I think It has created a cult following. I don't know, but it's definitely a very dedicated fan base, reaching four generations of people now. But the access and what music means to people as like a fan these days is something way different than it was a decade ago. But Kyle always says it best. He's like, these people built us. They are us. They came and supported us when we weren't doing all this. So
Yeah.
we're not going to forget them now. And myself, when I first met Slightly Stupid, I think I paid him $500 to play at a bar I worked at, and we became friends ever since. And they never once looked the other way, and we just always been great friends. So that's 25 years ago now. So
That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Where? What bar?
it was in Big Sky, Montana, where I used to live at the resort there. It was like a cassette tape being passed around with their new live and direct acoustic record that had come out. And I had started doing some booking at the local ski lodge there. And I reached out and, they showed up in a van, it was just four of them at that time, and came in, and it sold out in like, just a couple minutes. And I think we wound up giving them more money, but I think their rider was a pizza and a case of Corona. But, just circling back to the testament of these guys, I mean, they really are those people, and they have been for the 20 plus years I've known them.
Yeah.
They are tried and true to their fans, and they are who you see, and there's no smoke.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And that's a long time to play music together. You can tell the band, they get along. They like each other. Like that is very apparent. So um okay. I want you to go inside your mind right now. I want you to close your eyes and visualize. We're gonna go to Mexico together. You're in, the first day happened, second day, closer to the sun. You're opening your eyes. What time is it? And take me through your whole entire day. You can open
Um, so we're like day three, I guess, at this point. So
your, okay.
everybody's landed and we're there.
Okay.
Because that travel stuff, everybody knows what it's like to get on a plane.
Uh-huh.
But we get everybody in their rooms, and then we kind of associate them, with their surroundings, what reservations, what duties they might have for the day. Some of them have different schedules, drum clinics, margarita contests. So we kind of strategize with the local team, Cloud9, and what that means for transportation for the day, and create a schedule for them. And then we kind of just hover from spot to spot. So each day there's three, four, five different stages there. We play three of them. So typically you'll check in on your stage that day, check in on the production, see how things are going. The crew will start loading in. You'll start getting ready for the band to come over and do a little rehearsal. Then we kind of take it easy for a little while, get some dinner before the show, and go into show mode. They have a green room there that we all gather in. So it's got some food and a bar in it, and we're able to, all the families are able to come together, and they're able to have a private moment and experience the resort in Mexico as well as the guests. Then we get ready for showtime. Everybody puts on their game face, gets the smiles out, and uh, oftentimes Matt and the guys will get golf carts, take the guys down to the stage. I'll be prepping, audio, visuals, the creatives, making sure everybody's good to go, all systems go. And then we have a countdown, so like 5 minutes before the show, we have a certain song they go to, and then we go into an intro video that I can't spoil for you, but then the lights go down and the guys get to do what all this is for. And I usually hang out on stage, make sure everything's good to go, and I'll go out to front of house, make sure everything looks good visually, keep checking in on all the departments, and then start prepping the team for exfil once we're done, i.e., where all the principal artists are going to land after the show, what their plans are. And we turn our sights to that. And often I make them cocktails the whole show. So that's my most important role.
Do
And
you
then we kind of
coordinate
wind down.
yeah, just go ahead.
Then we kind of just wind down after the show. It's a lot of energy snowballing up into that
Yeah.
moment. So
Will you guys, I know like music goes till like 2 in the morning. Like, are there like one or two nights where the band will come down and hang out until then? Like, or are you guys like going to bed kind of early to make sure you have enough steam for the next day? Or is it like a party for everyone, basically?
Well, we always have a team member with the band because they have obligations. It's their festival, so
Yeah.
they'll go, not obligations, but they have a schedule they have to keep.
Yeah.
So if it's not me, it'll be one of the band's assistants or somebody, one of our team that'll be with them to make sure they have everything they need and they're to and from.
Yeah.
There's a heavy fan interaction, and it's not that they're high maintenance or anything. It's just that they get to saying hello and
Yeah.
hugs, and then you got to get them on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But yes, they stay up late some nights, and then if they have an early morning the next day, they might try to sneak off a little early. But it's full rage.
That's
It's full
that's
rage
what I was
for
asking. Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
yeah, no sleep
That's
for the
cool.
wicked. We don't start programming until like noon to give everybody a chance to kind of
Yeah.
rest a little bit. So,
Cover. Cool.
but you don't go there to rest.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yes.
So now, do you get a chance to like relax and hang out? Or are you just, is it work from the moment you touch down until the moment you leave?
So it's funny that you ask that. Like for me, my demeanor often can depict how smooth the situation is, right? So I try to have a more laid back vibe for sure. But it is a festival, it is work, there is
Yeah.
problems. But like I said, the Cloud9 team are partners and we have a great staff at Slightly Stupid. So it's pretty effortless at the end of the year. We've grinded it out on the road.
Yeah.
Yes, I will try to relax as much as possible, but anyone who knows me knows that I'm making music. I'm helping
Yeah.
the boys put on shows. I mean, it's not like I'm digging holes. So
Yeah.
there's always something to be talked about, maybe next year. So yeah, I have a good time. Again, very smooth process down there. So I try to keep the vibe light and enjoy myself and catch some great music. Great bands this year too, every year. But
Yeah. Um, you said making music, so I'm gonna ask you and put you on the spot. You make music yourself.
yes.
Yes, you do. And you have a a little winter run coming up, right? Tell me about your music.
Yeah,
Tell
so
me where you're going and what you're doing.
I'm really excited to go out. It's really one tour structured, but it's the 2025 kickoff. We have a little time off with the band, so I am going to go out with my band. I got a bunch of great friends I play with, a couple guys from, it could be guys from Hip Abduction Soja, Dub Collectors. I got Bosch, Kenny Bongos, Cody, Ryan Chambly, Brian Smith. Got an amazing all-star cast that we're going to roll out and do Tennessee and some Midwest dates, and then I hop on with an acoustic duo with Roots of Creation, my homie Brett Wilson. There's a rotating cast, Olympics on that run, but we're going to start up in Pittsburgh and head down through St. Petersburg. The tour's a little longer for them, but I got to jump off and do some Slightly Stupid shows. But yeah, I'm really excited to get in the van and go visit some people and play some tunes.
That's amazing.
Got a new album coming out, got a new song coming out.
When is the album kind of come out?
So I'm kind of waterfalling it now, which means I'm just putting it out single by single.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I'm working on this new one with Roots of Creation with Soja, and it's going to be super cool song. It's called
Amazing.
Oblivious.
Are all of your live shows kind of like that, like a rotation of different musicians? Is that like what Eric Swanson music is? It's just it's you and you're making the music, but then you bring on whoever is either available or who you're like cool with right now, or what, like whatever, just whoever
Yeah,
is
that's
around.
actually very astute. Yes, I'm a songwriter by nature, so having a band and a name and like a thing, I'm so unavailable with my touring schedule and
Yeah,
with the management company and stuff like that that it to me it's not fair, sometimes to be a part of a project. It's like being on a bowling league and never being able to bowl.
totally.
So what I do with this is it's ESB. I just whoever's available to play. Obviously, I've got longtime friends that I play with, but hip abduction and some of the Soja guys live by me,
Oh,
so
nice.
so we're neighbors. So it's
Convenient.
just
Yeah,
it isn't like anything catastrophic to get together. You kind of just cruise down, jam for a little bit, and I'm so lucky to have such a great cast of people around me that will play the tunes. But yeah, I kind of just grab whoever, whenever. But you'll constantly see a lot of the same characters in the movie,
totally. As it should be.
as it
Well,
should.
as it should. Well, send us the singles. We'll obviously put them up and show you love because the Pier loves Eric Swanson and Slightly Stupid so much.
Uh, yeah, I'm the music. It's centered kind of in this reggae genre, but like I tend to spear off into an Americana vibe. And I always say I make like the music like a, a, a kid from Illinois that's never seen the ocean. Like that's the reggae music I make. So it's sort of like a mix of, this record's like Zach Brown meet Jack Johnson meet reggae rock, American reggae rock. So
I love that.
yeah.
This is an ongoing conversation I have with anyone that knows me because I talk about it constantly until I'm blue in the face. But like, we call this genre like American reggae, like Cali reggae or whatever, but over half the bands don't even play reggae. It's just that everyone knows each other and everyone, it's like it's become this like what jazz was in the 20s. It's like nothing really sounds it sounds similar, but there's other things that are like completely different, like that aren't even reggae, like being booked with like these like super reggae, like white boy reggae, like whatever. And it's just like it makes sense in our minds, but like if you came in not knowing anything, you'd be like, why the fuck is this hip hop band playing with this reggae band? You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of all over the place. And
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is. But when I first stumbled on these guys, they were driving around getting arrested for smoking weed, and
yeah,
and really setting off. There was no scene back then,
yeah,
and so those bands that kind of gravitationally started orbiting what was happening in Southern California is a big part of it. I think for me, American reggae comes from like the respect to traditional reggae, some of the forefathers that really paved the way for skank and chichinka and those sort of rhythms. And I think there needs to be a distinction between that because we want to pay homage to Jamaica and the greats that have invented the genre, and
yeah.
we're merely emulating it and singing it through our voices. But I think that this genre, even Slightly Stupid, talking about that, they're a jam band. Last night they were rehearsing. It was so cool. It was more jammy, 9-minute songs. It was
I
cool.
love it.
So,
That's cool. And so that's kind of where I see this, not to get off subject or anything, but that's kind of where I see this genre going. I don't think it'll, I think see it going the way kind of like the jam bands. Like, I think American reggae now is what the jam scene was like in the 70s, right? It's like picking up all of this like kind of grassroots like momentum. It's never gonna be mainstream. It's not gonna happen, but I still think that 5, 10, 20 years, it'll still be going strong, selling out even bigger venues. I think, yeah, it's just cool to see. It's really cool to see, even just in the last 10 years that I've been involved in it.
yeah, the market is when I say market, I just mean music in general. Like me as a consumer, you see people. I don't want to go to a concert for 13 hours. There you just see like these different patterns emerge from the way music is consumed and how and where and why it's consumed. And I think people now can tailor that experience more so than ever, as opposed to in years past, you just bought a ticket and showed up and stood in the lawn.
Yeah.
Now there's VIP packages, meet and greets, parking. There's all these add-ons that can tailor your experience to make it a little more comfortable. But I think you're right. The genre moves around enough, and I think it becomes more of a a fan base than an actual genre, because there are hip hop people.
Totally.
Charlie Tune is with us all the time. He's a brother from another mother, and um, I think hip hop has a really strong place in the genre, whatever it might be these days.
Totally.
I think it all fits together very well, and I think people that like the same type of music often gravitate towards the same types of music. I think you could even throw a country song in on, and I don't think anyone would be mad about
No,
it.
I think so too. And that new Stupid Denim song, that's like a twangy, like you could play that on any country radio station and no one would think twice. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely like a slightly stupid song, but it's got that twang to it. And even you were saying like them playing, like they played, what did they play in Hawaii? It was like they played a Grateful Dead song. I don't remember what song it was, but yeah, I think it's very versatile. I think it's very based kind of just like what you said in the fan base and not the music itself, which is, such an interesting dynamic from a consumer perspective, right?
We look at it, I personally, as their tour manager, I look at it like a culture, like an ecosystem. There's
Yes.
lots of things that live within our ecosystem, and it really keeps a healthy environment. And to even down to the great fans of this band, they police the haters themselves. There's like, hey, let's keep this fun and clean. And I think that the standard for what we're willing to put up with is pretty high here in this ecosystem that we live in, and we're really
Yeah.
lucky to be a part of it. And I'm really lucky, outside looking in, being able to have the job that I do and watch the show night after night. I've probably seen more Slightly Stupid shows than anybody, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And you love what you do. Like you can tell you love what you do because you work with good people and it's great. Yeah,
It's great.
I had a super fun time in Hawaii. That was great shooting for you guys. I was kind of nervous going in, but like couldn't have asked for a better band and crew. Like everyone was so welcoming.
Yeah, that is really tailored from the band, from the promoters to everyone. They want respect and love showed all around. We're all there to do a job, and there's no reason why we have to be unkind to one another. And
Yeah.
and I truly thank God to work for people, with that sort of
And
moral
make,
compass.
yeah, and make that a priority over anything because it's easy to not be like that when there's so much going on and there's so much at stake, right? But they've made it yeah, a priority, which is great to see. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm busy, you're busy. I really, really appreciate you. It was great to catch up. Have fun in Mexico.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I always
Sure.
love to hear.
Yeah. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you when I see you.
Okay, bye. See you
Bye.
out there.
This will go up either this Friday or next Friday, but I'll tag you. It'll be all good.
Yeah, hopefully you edit down any stupid parts.
No,
Not
no.
that I ever have a stupid part.
Minimal stupid parts. Both of us sounded mostly coherent.
Yeah. But it gets to be rambling too. It's like, I could go on for days about it, but what is interesting to someone listening, that who knows?
No, I know. Same, same. I should start a podcast.
I always say I'm going to do that from the road, just with the culture of this band,
Yeah.
and kind of, just record daily with fans, promoters, the
Yeah.
band, the thing.
That's a
So
full-time job in and of itself.
it is. So I don't need another job. That is for sure.
Yeah, like I said, send me your singles. We'll put them on the pier. I'll put the one about your band. We'll do that in January when it gets closer to. Um,
Yeah, I have an ad mat that's Eric Swanson band, and I have the Roots of Creation one. I'd love to like be able to rotate them or something. I think the Roots of Creation one is the one we'll default to. If
okay.
it's their
Just
whole tour.
keep me updated, text me, email me, and I'll put that on our calendar tentatively.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, the single is the record company wants 6 weeks to cycle it, and it's not quite done yet, so it'll probably be February before it's ready. So,
Okay.
okay. Well, I appreciate it. Hopefully I talked to you before, but I'll send you over whatever art you need or anything. But
Yes, please do.